Hey everyone, thank you for your patience in waiting. We experienced some technical difficulties earlier, but it's now fixed. So welcome to the fourth Learn Livestream session. I'm your host for today. I'm Sabrina, and today's session will be on revealing the trade secrets of meme coin millionaires. The livestream is available on both the Bybit app and Bybit web, but for the best interactive experience, do join us on Bybit web, where you can ask all of your burning questions. This is your chance to talk to our meme coin trading experts and get as many tips as you can from them live. Now, before I introduce them, I just wanted to shout out that we do have an ongoing pop quiz that you can answer to earn a share of the 1 million PayPay prize pool. Now, this is limited to the first 100 winners, so fastest fingers first. We also have an exclusive live stream giveaway this time, where the top 5 questions selected for the Q&A at the end of this session will win a share of the 3,000 Doge prize pool. That's right, this is an additional prize pool, so if you want more rewards, do both steps. All right, yeah, and like this video to show your love for the meme coin trading secrets live stream, and share this stream out so that more people can join in on the fun today and earn more rewards. And just a quick little reminder, participate in the pop quiz to get a share of the 1 million PayPay prize pool, and ask questions in the chat box, because the top 5 questions selected for the Q&A at the end of the session will win a share of the 3,000 Doge prize pool. Now let's turn the spotlight to our esteemed panelists. First up, we have Evan.
Great to be on.
Hey Evan, how's it going? Could you please give us a short introduction and talk about your journey in the meme coin universe?
Yeah, thanks Sabrina so much for having me on. So it's been a few years really studying a lot of technical analysis where, meme coins, like anything else, are really good on the charts. There are some really good signs that you could, tough to find the points. You got to look at fundamentals a little bit to find the points, get in, what's trending, the fun stuff, but getting out. And that's where a lot of people get mixed up on the charts, looking at, Fibonacci levels, looking at support and resistance. There's a lot of places that could definitely help you in getting out of meme coins. So basically, I started with technical analysis, doing it really seriously, was looking at mainly Bitcoin, Ethereum, being a real good fundamental person, all goody two shoes, but then never realized how big, Web3 would get, the meme coins, the NFTs, all that. You could do technical analysis on a lot of stuff. So it's really, I'm in handy for that. And it's been an amazing journey. It goes by so quickly. I started back in 2020 pretty seriously. It still feels like yesterday. It still feels like I'm still in the last bull run.
All right, nice. Can't wait to hear more from you later on. And next up, we have Anders, also known as Crypto Cobra. Hi, Anders. It's great to have you here. Please tell us a bit about yourself and your experience with MemeCoin.
Yeah, glad to be here. My name is Anders, and I run the YouTube channel called Crypto Cobra. I started with Bitcoin around 2015, then got into altcoins and meme coins. Meme coins were different, built on community engagement and marketing. As a new YouTuber, I found it quite difficult to actually get any traction from my Bitcoin videos. So I kind of switched it up a bit and started to create altcoin and meme coin reviews. This helped me gain traction and views. I also invested in altcoins and meme coins like Shiba, being an early investor in CRO.
Great. All right. And lastly, we have Web3 evangelist Dirk.
Hi guys, how are we doing?
Hi Dirk, welcome back. Please introduce yourself and share your take on meme coins.
So the people that are not familiar with me, my name is Dirk. I hope the sound is clear because I'm wearing a mic right now. There was some technical difficulties, but that shouldn't be a problem, I guess. My take on meme coins is that I think that this cycle, as everyone right now already know, is the main narrative seems to be meme coins. And I'm pretty active on chain. I'm pretty active in, like, I would say, the degen groups to find the next very good meme coin. And as we discussed last call, I was very early into Pepe. I was in it around 100k market cap, but I sold at 500k market cap. So that was a painful but very good lesson. And I love to talk about meme coins today and everything that comes with that, because I think a lot of people underestimate. I think a lot of people just think that, okay, buy a meme coin, wait until it 20x and sell, but that's not how it works. You need to DCA in, you need to DCA out, you need to have a strategy and exit plan. So I'd love to talk about this today. Looking forward.
Thank you guys for joining us today. today to explore the fascinating world of meme coins. And I'm sure the audience can't wait to hear more trade secrets from you guys. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, I was just sharing that we do have an ongoing pop quiz that you can answer to earn a share of the 1 million PayPay prize pool. We also have a live stream exclusive giveaway where the top 5 questions selected for the Q&A at the end of this session will win a share of the 3,000 Doge prize pool. Now let's kickstart this live stream session. To kick things off, let's dive into the actual mechanics of trading meme coins. As many of you might know, meme coins can be very volatile, but they also offer unique opportunities. Today we'll explore essential trading techniques that can help you navigate this tumultuous market. So Anders, could you start by sharing how fundamental analysis fits into the picture, especially when trading meme coins? Perhaps you could share your screen?
Yeah, sure. My analysis and fundamentals might differ from others online. It's really a straightforward analysis process, and I'll share something with you here on the screen share. So make sure you take note. So
I believe that's my
see here.
screen by mistake. Yeah, that's not Elders.
Oh, Anders, could you click on present to share your screen?
Yeah. So when I look for something, I look for something catchy. The name and logo. The name has to be easy to remember, and the marketing needs to actually be good when it comes to meme coins. To find new meme coins, I investigate sites like CoinSniper, DexTools, and CoinMarketCap. There are probably several other websites out there too. Sometimes I even go into SolScan or EtherScan, and then you can find coins there. But the first thing I usually do is I go into CoinMarketCap, because this is, in my opinion, one of the simplest websites out there. So you can go into, when you come to the CoinMarketCap website, you go into here, and then you can come up here and you go to trending. So here you have all the new trading coins at the moment, down like so. But you can also go into this other section, and this is recently added. So these are fresh, very new coins. So then you can, let's say we want to take a closer look at this coin here. So the process is, when you find a coin that you actually like, you need to copy this address here, and then I head over to a website called DexTools. So at this website, I paste in the contract address, and then we see the first coin up top here is the actual coin. So then we click it, then I scroll a bit down. So holders, and then I have several things I look at, but it needs to be no honeypot. So a honeypot is when you can buy the coin, but it's something in the actual code, so you can't sell the coin. So that's bad. If it says yes there, I won't touch it.
Yeah, definitely. The scam, right?
And when let's say I find the coin, so let's say I want to take this coin here, then I go into, and this is something I haven't seen anyone out there actually do, because then I go into Google search keyword planner, and I put in this name on top here, and then I also put in ECI and then coin. Then I will see how many people actually are searching for that coin, because this coin is very new. So if a lot of people actually are searching for the coin, and it's probably between 100 and 1,000 searches, then I move to the next step and I actually do more in-depth analysis of the actual coin itself. So another thing I like to do is I like to go into a website called EtherScan. So, and the thing I do on this website, I take that address, the same address, paste it in here like so, and then I click on search, and then we come on this website here. So this is the actual on this coin itself. Usually on coins that are listed on a centralized exchange, you need to scroll a lot of pages down, but this is a very new coin, so I'm sure I could just check out some of the top wallets here. So I choose this one on top here, and then we go into this here, and then you can find something called on top here called tokens. Sometimes it's a lot of coins there, and sometimes it's not. But you can
Is
also
your screen
go
frozen? I think your screen might be frozen. It's still showing the Euro Cup inu markets on CoinMarketCap.
Oh,
I checked on both sides. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it seems like a technical difficulty. Could you try sharing it again?
yeah, share it now. Do you see it?
Oh, it looks like it's up. It's different now.
Yeah.
It's on EtherScan, so I think yeah.
Yeah. So what I do, the first thing I do is I take the actual contract address and put it into DEX tool. So I've done this here, and then you scroll down, you can see the actual holders. You can see if the coin has a honeypot or not. But the next thing I do is I go into Etherscan, and on this website here, you can also check out new coin holders. So I will check out a new top coins here, scroll a bit down, and we find Shiba Inu coin. So this is a coin that's developed or not very new. So the holders, you need to scroll down because a lot of these wallet addresses here are Coinbase, Binance, etc. You probably have to scroll a few pages. And when I find something here, I think we need to scroll a bit more, because what we are looking for is a actual holder and not a exchange. So let's say this is a wallet we find, then I scroll down and then we click on the actual wallet address. Now we are on this website here. This is where the magic begins, because here you can see all of the coins that this wallet has. You see the wallet address on top there. It's quite huge. Here we can find a lot of new coins downward.
What is that? So how much is it? Are you able to tell what the full amount of that wallet is, like in US dollars?
Oh.
Million, over 8
Yes,
figures?
you see here, he has, I think that's billion or
Oh
something.
my, wow.
So as you see down here, you can see all of the coins this person holds. So it's a lot of
Wow.
coins that I haven't even found or heard of yet. So sale tokens. So this is great way to find some good meme coins out there. So this is, and you need to check coin market cap several times a day, and you will index
But I think
tools.
this is Bybit's wallet, no? This is Bybit's
Yeah, I
wallet.
think this is
Bybit's
about, but
hot wallet.
I didn't want to use 30 minutes to find a actual
Ah.
holder. So I just
I was
showed.
thinking. Interesting. Thank
So
you. Thank you for
if you
sharing.
click on top there, so this is just the way to find, because the Ether wallet address, if a person holds one of probably a meme coin or something, he holds a lot of other coins on the same address. So that's kind of a secret. Other thing, you can also go to DEX tools itself and you can find new coins. So this coin has gone up 77,000% of the last few days. So this is another great way to find new coins. But this is a highly high risk. If you invest in new coins that aren't listed on a centralized exchange, it's kind of high risk, but high rewards too.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing, Anders. Yeah, definitely a good research methodology. But of course, just to shout out to our audience that this is not financial advice and this is purely for educational purposes. All right. And Evan, could you explain the role of technical analysis in trading meme coins and why it's such a powerful tool?
Yeah, so the main thing with technical analysis, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. You could spend years, learning it. It's a complicated field, but the main thing I think that we want to start off with people is just support and resistance, basically. And a lot of these meme coins, some of them they go up and then they go all the way to zero, but some of them, like Pepe, for example, that we'll talk about a little bit later on some more. They went down a lot, that's 70-80%, hit off major kind of support and then came back up a lot. And then you could also, when you're in price discovery mode, when it's at a new all-time high and when it just looks like it's going parabolic, what you can do is you can use Fibonacci, completely free tool on TradingView, and use, see potential fib levels that it could hit off of, support and resistance going forward, potential take profits. There's also a few things you could look at in terms of RSIs for taking profits as well on a lot of these coins. Sometimes it may be tempting to take profits when you're up 400x. Sometimes it goes up another to 10x from there. But, you got to look at, maybe it went up 40, like we saw with free Trump the other day, with what happened, it went up 40x, hit one of those, kind of Fibonacci points. Now it's down about 80%. However, we can look at now that we're down to 80%. Let's look at not hitting any significant support yet, but that may be one that's on my radar. I don't think it's completely done just yet, especially when you see something that's very topical, because you're going to see a lot of like meme coins are kind of like news events almost. They're kind of like they follow that certain thing that's kind of happening. And then when everybody kind of gives up, when you get that big sell up, assuming there's no rug pull, there could be, sometimes there are rug pulls and other shady stuff going on. So careful with that. Obviously not financial advice. Obviously it is gambling to a certain extent. I mean, but yeah. So then you look at those retracements, you try to, find find those places going upward. And then we get into big blue chips such as Dogecoin that have really just become, you know, like top 10, top 20 cryptos in terms of market cap. Those aren't even, those just trade like almost everything else at this point. So definitely a very interesting, interesting world there. But in all honesty, the biggest thing here that I look at in meme coins, trying to find tops, trying to find place to sell, Fibonacci is a big to look at, I think.
Right. Thanks. Maybe you could do a live demonstration later on in the next segment. Let's just take a look at the chat box. So someone actually asked, what are your top 3 favorite meme coins? Maybe Dirk, would you like to start first? But once again, this is not financial advice, guys.
For me, I think there were 3 meme coins which were recently going parabolic, as Evan mentioned before. One of them was Bear token. It was listed on Bybit perpetuals, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, and went to almost 400 million, I think almost 500 million market cap. That one was good. Ben the Dog, it got listed, I think 2 days ago on Bybit perpetuals. It was also doing very good. And I also hold some meme tokens that we have on base right now, and on our Web3 DEX we have a base trading competition right now where you can trade several base meme tokens and you can share up into a prize pool. So I think I'm still also a big fan of base, since of course we have seen that Coinbase is launching their smart wallet. I think they launched yesterday, if not mistaken, which potentially can onboard like a lot of users from America to buy more meme tokens. So I think that the base chain is also still like has room to grow, and Bear and Ben the Dog were my 2 favorite meme coins of the last period.
All right. Thanks, Dirk. And what about you, Anders?
Yeah, so it's a lot of coins out there, but some coins that actually fits both the meme coin and gaming is a meme coin called 𝐒𝐞𝐿. That's one coin, and you have another coin that I just bought yesterday actually called Bear coin. And then we have and the top coins like PEP and Shiba Inu, I think will actually go up in price because that's actually quite cheap still. So, and then you have Whiff and Bonk. Bonk, I think I was one of the first YouTubers out there that actually created a video on that meme coin. And Whiff, that went up huge amounts. It went, that was insane because it went, I think it's now trading at, I haven't checked today, but last time I checked, it was $3 for one meme coin. That's insane. So that's just some fresh coins there.
Thanks, Anders. And okay, Evan, a new question for you. So someone actually asked, does technical analysis really matter in meme coins? What's your take?
You know, it depends. I mean, certain people think it's like looking at hieroglyphics. You know, there's certain people with the crystals too that are looking at their technical analysis. Yes and no. I mean, I would say in terms of getting into them, like I was mentioning in the beginning, you know, so it's a lot of the trend, the fundamental kind of just the trend, you know, what's going on there. So that's what it doesn't mean that much in that aspect, but for taking profits, I think it is very important. Also getting in at when price comes down, looking at support and resistance. I think for any type of, you know, trading rather than just a buy and die strategy, technical analysis does have, you know, some good, definitely a lot of good fundamentals. So yes, I think technical analysis does mean quite a bit in meme coins. I want to just say briefly about 3 meme coins I really like. 𝐴peCoin, kind of half meme coin, half real coin. That I have a big position in 𝐴peCoin. That's one I like a little bit more risk. I think Peppy is one that I would try to chase. That could be kind of the next Doge, and one that's a super risk coin, like a not financial advice, just super risk, the free Trump coin. I feel like that's not done yet.
All right. Thanks, Evan. Okay, so audience, we'll be holding a live poll right now. You can leave a technical indicator you're curious about in the chat box, and we'll get our expert panelists to do a live demonstration on how to use it effectively. All right. Yeah. And let's just put theory into practice. So we'll apply the theories we just discussed to real-time data to give you a practical view of how to use these indicators effectively. Let's just wait for you guys to comment on some technical indicators. In the meantime, we'll just answer a few more questions. So one person said, what social media do you follow to research new meme coins? Evan, would you like to start?
What social media? Oh man, it's got to be on Twitter, and kind of current events. You know, I think what Anders was saying is a pretty good strategy, looking at the trending stuff on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko as well. So it's like kind of honestly, a lot of it is just it's a chaser's market. You look at the thing that's starting to go up, and then you could look at support and resistance points. Fibonacci is kind of on the way up. You know, you could look at Twitter. You know, you could also look at those Twitter. Some of them do Some of them are going to rug pull you, but some of them do have good, decent communities. You can look at what they're doing, news, fundamental things there. That does take, if you're just a chartist like me, sometimes you don't have time for that. But when you look at something good happening there, or if you have a researcher who's feeding you some stuff, then you could see there and then look at your charts a little bit, compare it to the technical analysis, and then potentially make a nice trade. Yeah.
Thanks. And do you have anything else to add on other than your coin market cap strategy?
Yeah, I can share my screen again, and I can share 2 indicators that I personally use at a daily basis to actually get an overview. So let's see here.
Sure.
So the first thing I will need to say is you need to monitor the community and hype surrounding the coin. So you need to check out their Twitter page and their social channels.
So that's what you do first when you try to look at what meme coins to get, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I'll just share the whole screen there. So there you see.
Do you guys
So
really think that it's important to use like technical alliances or something on a meme coin? I mean, it's just basically pure out of hype and engagement, right? Because in my opinion, when money flow is there, it doesn't really matter. But that's my strategy. I like never use the technical alliances.
The thing I really analyze is first the socials and then the community. If it's a big community, it will potentially go up in price. But I also track like a hawk, buying pressure and selling pressure. Buying pressure needs to be a bit above selling pressure. And when this is a fact, the coin will eventually go up in price. So the first, I only use 2 indicators, and it's based on AI machine learning. So these are 100% free. So if you search for Lorentzian classification, and then you need to change a few things here. So you need to uncheck everything on this first inputs page. The second thing you will need to do is change the name or neighbors count to 7, and then just change all of these things. You need to uncheck buy and sell for the Lorentzian classification, and then you just click on yes. The next indicator I use is machine learning logistic regression. And here if you just pause the screen when watching this, you can just change the look back window to 7 there, and so when you have this indicator set up, I have a full video on my channel explaining these 2 indicators in general. The first thing I do is I set a resistance and support level, before you do anything at all. So afterwards, you will see a kind of a good downward trend there. So if you put in a selling order there, you would earn quite a bit. But if you put in a buy order here, you would actually have some good gains there. And this indicator is, in my opinion, some of the best indicators you could. But I also really look at is buying and selling pressure, because if you track these 2 things, that's just my opinion, the best things to do. So, and minimize leverage when trading meme coins is key, especially if you're new. And I'm just saying this out there. But for meme coins, monitoring buying and selling pressure is the most important part. You can also monitor other things like moving averages or RSI, but these 2 indicators here actually monitor some of the same things.
All right. Thanks, Anders, for the comprehensive demonstration. All right. Let's just go back to the chat box. So I see that there are some people saying moving average, RSI. Maybe Evan, you can just show us how you use RSI on the Bybit trading platform. Maybe pick a beam and just walk us through what you're seeing.
I would love to. So let's see. So I got my screen here. I think you guys should be able to see it. Yep. Okay, perfect. So the big thing that I look at, and this is what I was telling you guys about, support and resistance zones. We're seeing this right on Peppy. And for technical analysis, you don't want to just look at one individual thing. Now, the RSIs are a really good point, but you see the RSIs here. Now, basically, we could talk about stochastic, regular RSIs, but just for a really rudimentary thing here, look at it curve down as you get a red dot on market cipher B right here, this momentum wave coming down. As you're also hitting, so I'm looking at 3 things here. I'm looking at the support and resistance, and I'm looking at the red dot, and I'm looking at the RSI curving down. That was an indication that we're going to come down. What's similarly kind of happening right now? Your RSI went up high, starting to curve right down. You have a high momentum wave. This is another thing that we could look at too. This is even a 4th indication. Same thing here we can mention. Look at this green starting to come down. Let's make this as simple as possible. Things are coming down over here. This is all basically, RSI, you could get real complicated with it, but most technical technical analysis is kind of a version of an RSI. We're looking at overbought and oversold. This is an example of generally pretty oversold. And what I also like to look at here, really simple, you take your Fibonacci tool right here in TradingView, go, and this is when it works really well when you're in price discovery mode. We're going to take it from the top here. We're going to bring it down to our low, and look, we're hitting a point. I marked out this point. We're hitting that point right there. Very good indication of, never short. They never say, don't be careful shorting some of these meme coins. You always never underestimate the degenerates, but this is one where it kind of looks like should be maybe taking some profit because, you came up a lot. If you do break upward, it's going to come up a little bit more, obviously, but nobody fixed that. You look at these and you're just like, man, crazy how much they come up, but it does look concerning on a lot of these time frames here because the same thing, you'll look at your RSI coming down the 4-day, same thing right there. You're rejecting from that point. So that's a big thing we want to look at, especially for detecting RSIs here. The same thing, we're not quite there in the weekly, but your RSI, when it gets high up, that's over, kind of an overbought situation. So I don't want to be the bringer of bad news here, but I think, it is if you're ahead on Pepe a lot, not financial advice, but it does make some sense to take some profit be right now. I mean, we could just, and you look at some of these, what it's done February, a 14x. I mean, sure, it could go up a full, let's see what that would be if we come up to this full next fib area, a full 25. But if you're up 10 or 14x, nobody went broke taking some profits, not financial.
Right. Thanks, Evan. We do have another question. So they're talking about risk management. So maybe, Dirk, you could share how diversification within meme coins could potentially mitigate risks, or share some other tips on how you can manage risk when trading meme coins.
Of course, first of all, but this is my strategy. I think that indicators, of course, can work for people, and they will work. I know a lot of people who are very good in trading, and Fibonacci levels or the RSI, there are very good indicators. But in my opinion, there is one more thing that's more important, and that's network or connections. If you look at the recently launched meme coins, they go up very hard and very fast, like in a very quick amount of time. And why is that? Because certain people around the team know that it's a good team, it's a good token, they're well funded, they're well connected in the crypto space. And I think, in my opinion, it's also very good. And that's what a lot of people are forgetting in the crypto space, that keep networking, keep interacting with people on Twitter, go to events, reach out to people, network in Telegram, let them show that you have skills, let them see that you have like something to offer to the good people. And then maybe you can get like add into better groups, and you get more followers, and you get like more alpha out of it. And I think this is what a lot of people are forgetting, that crypto is basically a very big part of crypto is who you know. And if you know the right people, I think you can also be very early into meme coins. And this is not financial advice, but work on your network, please. It's very important. That's something I would like to say if it comes down to meme coin trading. Something else I would like to say about risk management is that I am pretty defensive when it comes down to meme trading. That's because I lost once a very big amount of money on meme trading because I didn't do risk management. So right now, if I'm up like 200%, I always take my initials out of the token and I just let it ride, that I don't have any risk anymore. And if it does like a 3x or a 4x, or if it goes down to 0, I have my investment back, which means that I don't lose money. A lot of people in crypto start with focusing, okay, how can I make money? But I think a lot of people need also to reverse that and first start with, okay, how can I not lose money? And so that's my strategy, because I think if you stack down those 2x or 3x or 4x and you compound that on more money, I think you can do very well.
All right. Thanks, Dirk. Yeah, and the chat is actually telling you guys that, like, thanks for showing your indicators. Thanks for sharing your tips. Here's another one. So they asked, should you buy a meme coin when the price is at the bottom or when it's listing?
Good question.
Evan, would you like to start first?
I think it's, flip a coin, it's hard to say, it's kind of, you could look at a lot of those strategies, certain things like that. There's different things that different people look at. Typically from a technical analysis standpoint, I like to wait until I have a little bit of data on the chart, maybe a day or two, because I could kind of look at something. If some people are really excited about a meme coin, probably, and you really like the community and everything going, if you're a fundamental analyst and you're looking at that stuff, it would make sense to get in as early as possible. So then sometimes you could get out a day or two later after it goes up 10x or 20x or something crazy like that. If you're more of a, let's say, cautious person person who's more a chart guy, you'd want to wait more. So it really depends on what your goals are sometimes. I mean, it's kind of a shot in the dark. It's kind of like looking at, like stock earnings. Sometimes earnings are good, but the stock doesn't do what you'd expect, things like that. I mean, there's no black and white answer.
Yeah. Anders, do you agree?
Yes. Like you need to get in, if it's a very new coin, you need to get in as early as humanly possible. Okay. That's just because sometimes it goes very, very high in price, but then it falls even harder. So you need to get in and out as fast as possible. But when you have a coin like PEP or Shiba or WIF that has a strong community, then you can be in longer. But for those coins that not so well known, and you need to be in and out fast. But you also need to have if you do, let's say you are going to trade leverage, you need to have a stop loss in. You need to set a stop loss. I never lose more than 2.5%. That's automatically. If it goes below 2.5%, I'm out.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of risk doing that, right? Going in early.
Yeah, and not being too greedy. So let's say a coin has gone up 100%. I'm usually going to go after, and I will probably go in at maybe a few days or a week into the future. I will probably go in again. Sometimes I can trade a coin in a week, probably 10 times. I'm out, in, out, because short-term profits, let's say you have 5% or 10% profits, and then you go out, but then you come in again when the price goes below that level where you bought again, and in and out. Sometimes I trade that coin 2 times a day. So it just depends on the community and the engagement, etc.
All right, thanks, Anders. So someone actually asked, is it better to hold meme coins in spot or trade in future?
I think I can answer this.
Okay, sure.
I think future trading can be very good, but you need to be well mentally trained to hold a meme token in perpetual trading. So my advice, this is non-financial advice, this is how I play it. If you want to hold a meme token for long term, you hold it spot. And if you want to go quick in and out, then you can try a perpetual trade. But keep in mind that tokens like Pepe, WIF, Shiba Inu are very volatile. So if you are also using leverage on a volatile token, it's crazy. So in my perspective, this is non-financial advice. It's only my experience. You can better do spots and go like quick in and quick out, exactly like Andres said as well, because it's very volatile. And what a lot of people are forgetting, and this is, I think, the most important thing in crypto, it's emotional control. A lot of people, for example, you go in with $1,000. I think $1,000 is a lot of money. And you go in and you get like a 5x and you make, for example, $5,000 of it. Everyone is in the first thing that come in their mind, okay, if I make it 2x more, I make 10,000 right now. And that's possible, right? Because I already did a 5x. Here is like a big mistake that people are making because they're becoming too greedy. So always make sure that you take your profit and you let like a bag rise to the rest of the chart.
Thanks, Dirk. Do you guys have anything else to share?
I have something to say. Never get kind of married to a coin or a meme coin.
True.
So never put all of your funds in one coin. That's really important to put down there, because if you do that, eventually you will lose money. Probably will have a good profits sometimes, but then you will fall even shorter on another trade. So never, when I say married, it's not married to the coin itself, but you kind of never be so in on a coin or a meme coin that you need to get profits. And that's something that I try to tell all my community on YouTube. So that's
a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
I was just going to say, in terms of leverage, there's certain aspects, like obviously for new meme coins, a lot of them you can't even trade leverage on because they're real new, but things that have been around a while, there could be some good strategies with leverage. I just want to show you, if you get my screen up again, just real quick on the 𝐴peCoin chart, give you guys a little freebie of how you can use leverage and potentially ride this coin up a lot. So you set a stop loss before, basically you set a stop loss below this low. So basically I don't want this below $1, below 96 cents. I don't want, because I would think that it's kind of just dead at that point. But then your risk reward ratio could be really, really good if you wait till, let's say, this high or even a higher high. Like this is going to be a really big place, I'd say around $3. It's around a 3x from here. And then if we why my little glitch right there, but obviously your risk reward ratio is going to be, let me just show you the risk reward ratio here. So you could risk a a small amount. You could go probably, it's a 30% stop loss, which is going to be a lot. So you could go maybe 2x leverage and get potentially double the gains. Now, the thing here is look at that risk reward ratio. It's incredible. And you don't want this below this price. You could risk, this is what I say, don't worry about the leverage. Just worry, this is betting, like betting at the casino. How much do you want to bet that 𝐴peCoin is going to hit these higher prices before it goes lower than this? How much do you want to bet that this is going to survive? And also what you could do here is you could take some profits, let's say up here at $1.90, or even what was the year March high, let's say $2.50, lock in some profits, set your stop loss to your entry point over here, and then you have a risk-free trade, and you could theoretically ride this up to new all-time highs. Who knows what 𝐴peCoin could do? But when you have patterns like this double bottom pattern, things are starting to look good. This could be a really good, this is something I should put behind a paywall. So normally only the premium people get trades like that. So I think this is a good opportunity. I hope I didn't jinx it down, but yeah.
Thanks, Evan. So this is is this how you actually decide when it's time to exit a trade? Well,
Yeah, so just support and resistance points that I have. Yeah, based on support and resistance points. I would keep an eye on it. That's a long-term trade. I always keep an eye on it, every few days, make sure everything's going well. You want to look at funding rates too a little bit. Sometimes those could get you, if everybody's going along on something, your funding rate could be very high. And you're going to get eaten alive on fees. So that's another thing that may make it more advantageous to be on spot rather than a lever. So you got to keep that in mind.
What about you guys? Like, how do you guys decide when it's time to exit it based on technical indicators? Enders, do you like to share?
Yeah, so I look at several different things when it comes to exit the trade.
Mhm.
The main thing I look at is those two indicators I said there, and I look at support and resistance lines, and I look at candlestick patterns.
Mhm.
So hammer, inverse hammer, bullish engulfing candle, those are bullish candles, and some bearish candlestick patterns are hanging man, bearish engulfing candles, etc. So when I locate those, you don't have to learn all of those candlestick patterns. There are other indicators out there too that can actually you can see if it looks like it, then you can analyze it and say, does that look like a engulfing candle or bearish candle? So those are my main things. And the main are buying and selling pressure. When selling pressure of the coin exceeds buying pressure, I'm out. I'm
Okay.
out. So that's my very easy to understand plan of exiting a trade. So
All right. Thanks, Anders, for putting it in an easy way to understand as well. What about you, Dirk?
Oh, I go out on sentiment. I think if I trade meme coins, I look at sentiment. I look at engagement on social media platforms like X. I look at the Telegram. But what I think my main indicator is, what are the top 10 wallets doing? I'm a wallet tracking guy. Like I put the top 10 wallet into a wallet tracking tool, and I can see it, or I can get an alert when a certain wallet is trading. When I see that a certain wallet, like a top 10 wallet, which means a wallet that is like in the top 10 of holding supply of the token. When I see that the top 10 wallet is selling, it's usually or an insider or the developer itself or friend of the developer, or just like a rich guy who has like a lot of percentage of supply. That means when he starts selling, the sell pressure will increase. So when I see that, I'm usually going out and I don't look back anymore. I just move on with life.
All right. Thanks, Dirk. Before we go into the Q&A, let's just do one more question. So from a fundamental analysis standpoint, how important is it to monitor the news and rumors around meme coins? And how can you use this information more strategically?
I mean, I would just do the opposite of whatever the news says to do, whatever the mainstream area. I'm just kidding. But I would say it depends. You want to look at that with everything else. It's an edge that you may, just like the charts, just like everything else. There's never going to be 100%. You can get into analysis paralysis, just looking at every possible outcome. So I would say if it's something you're passionate about and you're not just, trying to make a quick buck, maybe be more into the news. But, if you already have your trade set up and your support and resistance points, there's not really that much of a reason to look at the news happening, in my opinion.
And Dirk, do you have any comments about this?
No, for me it's the same. I ignore what the mass is saying, and I ignore what the most people are doing, because the most people, and this is the hard reality, but it's not bad, I think, to say it, the most people will lose money in crypto. So if you do the opposite, what most people do, you're likely to earn money. So that's maybe a good tip as well.
Yeah, I also
Right.
forgot one thing earlier when I talked about when I look for coins. So
Mm.
one other aspect is how many tokens are circulating of that coin. If
Mhm.
it's over, let's say it's over 500 billion coins, the chance of that coin going up to $1 or $2 is almost 0% chance. That's just my personal opinion. So if a token has, some tokens have 500 quadrillion, I don't know how many zeros that are, but that's a lot. And that coin will never go up in price, even if the token has burns. So when a burn cycle of a coin, sometimes they say we are going to burn 30% of the circulating supply, but it gets removed from the circulating supply, but the total supply of that coin always remains the same. So that's something you have to, because when the token, some tokens are burnt, it's not actually burnt or deleted from the actual thing. It's sent to a wallet that you can receive, but you can't send those tokens out. So there's just an extra thing I wanted to point out there. And I see a
Right.
person have which network is best to buy memes.
Mm-hmm.
So most new coins are actually launched on Solana chain, but it's kind of Solana and Ethereum. You have a lot of other tokens out there. You have that BTC contract, runes, and there are several.
Right. Thanks, Anders. Okay, and we have come to the last segment, which is the audience Q&A. So this is probably one of the most exciting parts, because we will be announcing the top 5 winners who will be winning a share of the 3,000 Doge prize pool. Now, the first question is, I quite like this question. So this is by Madine. All right. Congratulations. You're one of the winners. So what has been your best meme coin trade ever? Anyone would like to start first?
I don't want to mention the name of the meme token, but I once had in 2021, I was going in a pre-sale with, let's say, a good amount of money, and that did like a 20x on that. That did me very well, but I didn't cash out. So that was also my hard lesson, because I was thinking, if I reach this amount of money, then I can do this and this, but that was not the case. So I lost it all. So I think it was my best and my worst performance.
Okay, unfortunately. Okay, Evan, what about you?
Oh man, it's yeah. Back in the day, it's the inception of it all. It's Doge. Back when Doge was at 7 cents, I remember I put. Oh man, I think this was. I turned some either 5 or 10 grand into like 40 or 50 grand with it, and then wrote it down a lot of the way. But I did make a good 10 or 20 grand a day off of that one. But that was more of a long term thing, and with all the emotional trauma and all that, it was better off to just sell earlier when everybody was talking about when Elon went on SNL and all that. But that was the memory from it. I thought meme coins were kind of done after that. I would, go crazy like we have, but it's the more the merrier. It's been a fun ride.
Right. And Anders, do you have
So the main coin that I regret not buying more of was that WIF coin. I've never seen anything like that. Never, actually. That coin went so high, so fast that that was insane. You have Bonk, and then you have a lot of other coins, but I don't want to go in details about which coins, and probably but you can take a look at my YouTube channel, then you will see maybe some coins that.
All right.
That's,
yeah, thanks for sharing, Anders. Okay, so the next question is from someone whose email starts with ZEN. Should meme coins be staked long term?
No, I don't think so. No. If you stake your tokens, that means that you're not flexible in the position anymore. The sentiment in the meme token can turn on very quick, and you want to be flexible. You always want to be possible to sell or to buy more. And when you stake your tokens, this is just my personal opinion, I'm not bashing all the other projects who have staking on their meme token. I think staking is for some projects a very good consensus. For example, a proof of stake project. But for meme tokens, I think meme tokens just need to be meme tokens, and that.
Okay.
Yeah, I never stake my meme coins. Never. So
this is a little bit risky, but I do stake my mutant ape and earn ape coin from that. So I guess in a sense, I do stake, do stake in the Ego Labs. But that ape coin's kind of half and half. I wouldn't stake something that's a complete meme coin. I'd stake something that potentially has, that following and something behind it. It depends how long you want to keep it, and there's always going to be risks in staking too. So you got to keep that in mind. Make sure you're secure, make sure you're doing. But if you're planning on holding it for a year and you could get 5 or 10%, why not?
Yeah, definitely. You get to earn some rewards if you're holding it long term, right? Okay, thank you. And the next question from someone whose email starts with NIS: why should meme coins be part of your portfolio? Should they even be part of your portfolio? Yeah.
If you want to lose money, yes. No, I'm just kidding.
I tried to say this.
Diversification. You could, it's like, I mean, obviously that Bitcoin's going to be the safest thing. Ethereum is the safest thing. And then the top 10, the altcoins with big followings, like a Solana, like a Cardano, Matic, Polkadot, things and Chainlink, things of that nature are going to be the next safest thing. And then you could sprinkle in some riskier, smaller cap altcoins, which surprisingly, I never thought we'd see this, but surprisingly, a lot of these meme coins have done better than a lot of the smaller cap, new with good fundamentals, new coins. So that's the thing too. So sprinkle in a few meme coins. The more diversification, the better. A lot of times.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And the next question is from someone whose email starts with UNL. Do you think meme coins can be positive if Bitcoin is negative? Anders?
Yes, it can be positive because a meme coin can go up while Bitcoin is going down. So no correlation between a meme coin and Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. So a meme coin can go up 200% in the bear market still. So community engagement.
Yeah. Dirk, would you like to share anything?
I think when the market sentiment is down and you have a very strong community, a community token, aka a meme token, still can go up. That's like the strong part of a meme token, that they have a very good community, which means that if everyone believes in this meme token, no one is selling. And I think that's like the whole interesting part of meme tokens. So yes, I think it can be very positive, yes. And also, of course, to onboard more users. I mean, meme tokens nowadays are way more interesting for retail users than non-meme tokens.
All right. And the last question, who is winning a share of the 3,000 Doge prize pool, is someone whose email starts with CRY. What would you do differently today if you had never traded? Evan, would you like to go? Anders.
You can go first.
I don't. You go first, Ed. I'm not sure I understand that. What do you mean do differently today if you have never traded? Like, I don't understand that.
Like if you're a
I
beginner.
don't really understand it, but if you're new and you never traded before, I wouldn't trade. I would do something called demo trading. So you can do it on Bybit, you can learn, then you can start out. Before it was called paper trading, so it's the same thing. So that's the first thing I would do. Then I would learn where support and resistance lines should be set. I would learn buying and selling pressure, what affects the price from going up and down. I would go in details about some of 3 or 4 different bullish and bearish, so those called chart or candlestick patterns. So then I will kind of just go from there, actually. So
Dirk?
If I would start again as a trader right now, I would just buy and hold spot, since we are in a bull market, and in the bull market, spot is king, in my opinion. This is my opinion, and I think that every spot buyer or spot holder usually outperforms the day trader. If you're new to crypto, just buy spots and hold for long term. Don't go buy and selling and just sell when your barber or maybe your taxi driver or maybe someone else around you in like the environment is asking about Bitcoin. Then I think it's a very good moment to sell a little bit of your spot backs, buy back lower. That's a strategy that you can do. Or if you have like a significant amount of profit, then you can just take out and leave the crypto space and wait until the bear market.
And Evan?
I would say it's about, you kind of have, even just for a spot trader, even just for somebody buying and DCAing and holding long term, you got to be like a robot. I heard somebody smart say this one time. I mean, you got to be like a robot and not let the emotions get to you and just follow that kind of strategy. And even if you're just a spot trader, there's areas on the charts that are good places historically to DCA into Bitcoin. And I did follow a lot of those, but I wish I really followed them more and really trusted my strategies a little bit more, especially for the long term, especially with the 4-year cycle in Bitcoin, buying more, in the second half of 2022 and the first half of 2023, things of that nature. Even there's a lot of other strategies that, I talk about a lot with Bitcoin dominance, the times to kind of get into alt. So it's kind of that's the main thing. You got to be a robot. You got to follow that strategy. You got to stick with it, the thick and the thin. And that's the main thing here. And you got to really be disciplined in that nature. And that's kind of what gives you success in anything in life. It's kind of just that discipline. And it's easier said than done, because obviously, you're just following that strategy. This is just clicking a button a lot of times. It's not like discipline where you got to, wake up at 4 a.m. and do these live streams. Yeah, it's easier than that. But it's kind of, some of the easiest things in life are the hardest. It's like, I would say trading and buying crypto is like the hardest easy way to make money, if you get what I'm saying. So you gotta be disciplined and follow the strategy.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would help if you actually come up with a cryptocurrency plan. Maybe have a trading journal before you actually trade, so that you can maintain that discipline, so that every time you make a trade, you actually look back to your plan and make sure that you're following through with what you actually set out to achieve in the first place. And like Anders said, we do have a demo trading account on Bybit where you can practice trades risk-free, no deposit is needed. So yeah, it's definitely a good place for you to start if you're looking to enter crypto. All right, and thank you to our panelists, Evan, Anders, and Dirk, for sharing more insights and tips on how to trade meme coins, and to our audience for your engaging questions. So today we've dived into essential trading strategies, emphasizing the significance of both technical and fundamental analysis in navigating the volatile meme coin market. We discussed various strategies to manage risks, including the importance of setting stop loss orders and diversifying investments